boom! Here comes the boom! Here comes the market. So the market has actually bounced off. Huge up day in the markets. Big selling in the metals. Anyway, guys, this is the first time I've actually opened up the chart this morning, which is a Monday morning for me. So I'm looking at it with fresh eyes like you guys are right in front of me. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright guys, so let's actually get straight into it right now. Obviously the market has had a nice up day, nice up move. And and it's something I was looking at this over the I think it was over Friday before the announcement came out, after I did the recordings for the market update, and I was looking at this. I'm like, yeah, the market's actually created like a nice little flag formation here, and it's holding here. Now the hourly chart was potentially flagging a bear flag, and that hourly chart was potentially flagging that, and that was something that I was really focusing on last week. So let me just go to here. Let me just bring up this hourly chart here. This is the hourly chart. So I was saying last week that this actually may be a bear flag, and as you can see, it didn't confirm. It actually broke up, and then we had this nice move to the high side here. So actually big gap up, big gap up. This was the last gap here. We had a gap here as well too. So especially on the Dow Jones, so nice gap up. So all the indexes most of the indexes last week I was saying that on the hourly chart looks like they're flagging a bit, looks like there might be a bit of a bear flag all on the hourly chart, but I was saying we still need to wait for that confirmation. We didn't get the confirmation, and I was saying on the daily chart that we're still holding this level of support, so we still had no true direction. So the Dow Jones obviously had a nice up move, 1% up move. It's still very close towards its highs here, so you'd want to see that break above. We did get a volume, but we didn't get a lot of volume. If you know what I mean, it's actually still below average. It's below this average line here. So we are going up, and it does look like we may be out. We're definitely going to. It does look like that we may be getting more upside here. And the question is, do we actually break? If we break above this high here with really good momentum, then we may be having a 1-to-1 projection, which simply would give you a target. If we do best this quite nicely, then it does look like we actually have from this low to the high, and then to this oh, there we go. And it does look like a 1-to-1 projection would be ensue. So a 1-to-1 projection would mean that it looks like that we may be going for a target of around the 19,100 mark. So 19,000 guys may be a target for where the market is trying to run to. And then if it really gets, and I know this is crazy because I've been bearish this whole year, but hey, I'm just looking at what the charts are telling me. And if we really start to get, on the bullish side, and we really start to get some buying in this thing, we may even up here. We may even end up at the top here, which is the 1.68% level here. We have created this nice bear flag. It bounced off here, got a nice bullish breakout, got the stochastics where they are. So this actually looks like it wants to keep following through. We just want to get past this high here, which this actually could be potentially a double top, but it's not right now. But we just need to keep an eye out for that. But if we break past this potential double top resistance line up here, then for me, guys, it's like, man, this actually, if it breaks up here and closes above here with some good volume, then we could see a lot more follow through. So what we want to see, guys, is this: that if the market rallies up here and then holds up here, we could actually see a hit on the resistance line, and then maybe even a reversal back down. If that happens, then it reverses back down here. Then this is a double top, and then obviously it looks like it has a projection there. I'm looking at the if scenarios. No one knows what's going to happen, so we always have to be flexible with what our decisions is. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two, which looks like it may be the likely scenario, is if we break above here, and we have a nice break above this high here. So we got this high point here, and then we just have another follow through. We just keep following through. We don't break above the high and we don't break back down. We break above the high and we keep following through. If that's the case and that happens, then it looks like we have a target here. The first target around the 19,100. And if it really starts to heat up, then yeah, we could be, and Mr. Fuzzy, I'll tell you right now, we could be heading towards the night to the 20,000, because this 1.68% level is likely to hit. And once it starts breaking above this level here, guys, and then just keeps following through, then it looks like it has a pretty strong move up. Pretty strong move up towards this sort of area here. There's sort of no areas of resistance, of projection. So the first target for me, guys, if it breaks above this resistance here and closes above it strong, then the first target for me would be 19,100. And then if it really starts to ramp up, then we have a target of 19,000, say 700, 19,800, somewhere around this area through here. But once again, guys, anything can really happen here again, because if the market closes above here and then suddenly we get a reversal back down and then comes back down like that, then that could potentially happen as well too. So be flexible with every single thing you do in the markets. All right. So, but anyway, there's a few little projections that I see on the Dow Jones. Just be very, 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 very careful with that, okay? That's on the daily chart. Let's go have a look at the weekly chart here. And the weekly chart, look how strong that weekly, look at that weekly candlestick chart, or weekly sort of bar. Nice sort of higher close. This is strong, guys, and I'm expecting a strong week out of this. There's nothing bullish about this. I'm expecting a strong week. I'm expecting more upward movement. Unless something major happens, I'm expecting a lot more upward movement. Going back to the monthly chart as well, then the monthly chart has actually held this nicely strong. It came down, it's tested these areas here, and actually you can see that area, the low was at around that area there, so it had a lot of support through there. Now it's came down, it's bounced off, rejected off. Guys, this is looking really, really, really bullish now on the markets. Again, we need to be flexible because it may continue breaking up, it may not. Let's actually go down now and have a look at the S&P. The S&P has, and as you guys know, right? As you guys know, I had a target, and that was obviously this projected line here. I said, if the market doesn't break down, and keep following through, the market's likely to run back up. And I have a target of 2,000, say close to 2,200. So I'm expecting more upward movement of this target projection here. And I drew this target I drew this target after we broke out. So at least on the short term, another nice up day tonight would be ensue, and maybe even a lot more upside with that on the S&P. But the S&P is a lot more difficult to sort of see there. Let's go have a look at this weekly chart here. Weekly chart, you can see that continued up. We didn't even get down towards the highs. We actually just continued up and we blasted off and we closed high up here. So markets continue to rally up nicely strong. It's definitely, we're in blue skies right now, guys. Blue skies, and the market's running strong here. So even though the Fed this, Fed that, government this, government that, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Everything's just pushing high and pushing high and pushing higher, guys. So everything's looking really, really strong. So it doesn't mean something bad can't happen, but this is looking really, really strong here. And so hey, something may happen in the August, September, October. That may happen leading up to the, something big may happen leading up to the elections. But we're going to take it one day at a time. We're going to take it 1 week at a time. And right now, guys, there's nothing bearish about what we're looking at through here. Nicely bullish up through there. So again, that could completely turn around. So looking really nice, bullish through there. Let's actually go and have a look at the Russell. What happened with the Russell? Again, guys, this is the first time I'm looking at this now. Even with the Russell, wow, look at the Russell, just almost 1.5% to the high side. Bam. That was that line through there I was looking at. So closed above there. Man, even the Russell has just bam, you know, like the Russell's just continue to move up, So very, very, very strong on the Russell, there. Oh, that was the chart I was trying to look at there. We're still in this overall sort of channel, aren't we? Still in this overall channel here. So very, very, very interesting, guys, to see what the market's going to do this week, and I think this next couple of weeks is strong, you guys. And I was looking at the GAN thesis and stuff like that, and it seems to be very, very interesting. If you look at the average of booms and bulls and stuff like that, it seems like the average bull market booms for about 6 years or so. I think it's about 6 years, and then it's around the 7th year that we actually start to fall off the cliff. I think that's what I read there. So anyway, it's very, very, very interesting to see what's happening here, guys. We're just still pushing higher, especially on this chart here. Let's go to the weekly chart here. What's the weekly chart show? Weekly charts just continue to show more and more upside. Let me take everything off the screen here. It's just continuing up, and it's just a bullish move, and there's nothing more to say about that. Just a one hell of a bullish move, and we're now breaking above this high point here, which is this sort of trough through here. So it's really, really, really interesting to see what's happening through there. Let's go down to the Nasdaq now. The Nasdaq, and I must say, guys, and this is actually really interesting with the Nasdaq. Let me just actually delete everything off the screen here, and I want to show you this here. The Nasdaq, which looks like the Nasdaq high of all-time high was over here. This is obviously the Nasdaq over here. This is the high. So we're actually at these high points right now. So we are almost, this is obviously the .com boom, but we are like almost at a brand new high. In fact, let me go to the weekly chart there. We are basically looking at this level through here, and we can see that the Nasdaq basically hit its high up here. We have had such an astronomical move to the high side, and I do expect a pullback soon because of such a big move, especially on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq showing me that, but you just don't know when that's going to happen. All right, you just do not know when that's going to happen. And really, really, really interesting, right? When I was talking about my projected line on the Dow Jones, on the S&P, how I had a projection, the Nasdaq actually got to its top projection. Now, if you guys know, right, you guys know when the market started breaking bullish up through here, I was actually around here. I actually said that I have a short-term projection of 5,146, and if this holds, then my next target is up here at 5,200. You guys know when you go back there. And that's exactly where I went to. I actually ran there and ran up to the exact high point and rejected off. Now, if I look at the last year's close, if I look at last year's closing price, which like last year's closing high, the close was around that level there. That was the sort of the closing, roughly the sort of the closing price for the high, 5,200. And where did we close today? We closed at 5,000. So I think we closed just above I think we closed just above or just above the high for last year's like new close for the year. But again, I have a projection. I have a projected target up to the top here that actually hit there, and has actually got to that target. So looks like most of the indexes, apart from the S&P, have actually got to my ultimate targets on the markets, and it's got there. So guys, those bearish flags I was showing you last week just didn't come out. Just didn't happen, right? We didn't get the confirmation. The market's rallied up. So maybe we're going to get some more upside pushing through. We've got some good volume. We've got some big up days. Maybe this is going to follow through. Now, I must warn you guys that we can't get too over sort of, crazy on looking at this. And what I'm talking about is this, guys. Now, let me actually show you here. When was this here? Let me show. Was it on the S&P or the? Must have been on the S&P. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? All right, sorry about that. Anyway, guys, that's the market update for what I see, guys. Let's see what happens. It's going to be crazy time. But guys, as the market is moving more and more and more, you know, I'm not calling a crash anymore. All right, I'm done with calling that crash. I thought we're going to get more downside, but since it breaking up to new highs and now really understanding what the government's doing and stuff like that, guys, I'm not calling for a crash. If it does happen, no one's going to expect it. Right? No one's going to expect. Now, I do expect something big to happen in the markets. It might be now, it might be next month, might be this month, you know, but who knows? Who knows, right? But what I do say is my feeling is that this market's going to stay quite high. I don't think anything really bad is going to happen this year. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. You know, there's a big if there. But it seems like 2017 is the year that something big's going to happen. Now, the reason why I say that, guys, is this. Because if you look back, it was like 1937, 1987, 2007. The number 7 seems to come up all the time when it comes to catastrophes. And now we're getting into 2017, right? So it seems like, you know, 87, 47, 37, 47, 87, and obviously 2007. So guys, that's just what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling like. And right now, guys, there's nothing bearish. There's nothing bearish on this chart that says this market's going to go down. Everything is bullish, right? So yes, I was calling crash and I was calling that sort of stuff at the start of the year, and that's what I was getting from the market, sort of struggling to break up higher. And for so many, yeah, guys, as this market was rallying up, I did expect this market to break down. And you can see this market just went sideways for so many months, about 1, 2, 3 months it went sideways. And I thought I thought it was creating a rounding top, and then it broke down. But it didn't. And it actually broke back up, and now we're just continuing back up from here. So that's what's happening now, guys. That's what's happening on the markets. If the market starts to create some more lower peaks, lower troughs, that'll be the start of something big happening in the markets. But right now, guys, right now, as I speak this week, right now in the markets, it's bullish, and we just got to be flexible and see what happens with the markets. So, anyway, guys, have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course, and I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.